If you think that high value means high maintenance, you have been lied to. Some of the most magnetic people, and more specifically magnetic women that I've met, do a lot less, but with more intention. You don't need more money, you need better habits, and I'm gonna help you get there. Here are 6 lazy girl micro habits that are gonna take you from flop to top, low to glow. Let's get into it. Number 1, pausing like a pro. You are not in a rush. You will notice that high value people pause before they speak. I don't want you to think that all of these things are going to be super calculated. We're like, okay, time to pause. Okay, time to speak. It's not like that. What makes it easier is when you're thinking about what you're doing next. High value people pause before replying to a text. They pause before replying to an email. Now, granted, yes, you can be in conversation with people. This is not what I mean. But if it's something that you need to think about, it's not about how fast you can respond. It's about making sure that you're thinking about what you want to say next, like really thinking about what you want to say. That pause is power. Now, it's not this false sense of like, I'm so mysterious that I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to wait for the fans to come talk to me. It's not that type of thing. High value people know themselves. Okay, there's always something that we're going to be learning about ourselves. But for instance, I know myself. So if I go somewhere, I know myself and I'm going to go home with myself. I'm never going to be without myself, right? So there's no need for me to go to a function and spew out about myself, because then I will learn nothing about anything or anybody else. All I will leave with is information about myself that I probably already knew. Stillness is where your presence builds. Because you are taking that time to think about what you say, you are less likely to be caught off guard. For instance, if somebody cuts you off mid-conversation, you're like in the middle of talking and they cut you off. If you pause and resume back to what you're saying, you're able to keep your power without pushing them down. But if you are cut off and the first thing you do is like, why would you? You remove your power. And number 2, you've put them down, which makes it an awkward situation. So instead, just pause and resume back to your conversation. Or for instance, if somebody asks you something and you don't know, you probably have heard this, like, oh, that's a good question. But what you're really doing is taking a pause because you're like, dang, that was a good question. Like, low-key, I don't even know for real. So what you're gonna do is think about that question so that you can come up with an answer that you won't be embarrassed of later. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely had some conversations where I get in the shower later, I'm like, day after day. Embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. So to avoid those moments, and it doesn't just like not happen, it doesn't stop happening, but it happens a lot less and it makes you more confident in conversation because you're not worried about like, oh, what is somebody gonna say next? Because you know you'll have time to think about it. Number 2, do not chase, choose. Okay, now this is my personal opinion, but I am not going to chase you. There are different things that I will chase. I'm going to chase my goals. I'm going to chase the motivations that I've set out for myself, but I'm not going to chase a person. Whether that's in DMs, personal circle, at work, start asking yourself, do I want this? Not how can I get them to like me? I'm telling you this from experience. So this is not coming from a place of like you're not enough for me, you're not good enough. It's nothing like that. What it is I used to be a people pleaser. Okay, so the first thing I would do is like, do they like me? Do they like me? Okay, let me see. Do they like me? I play piano. I grew up playing classical piano. And with that are recital. And the first thing that I would want to do is play, and my teacher would tell me that I was good. And this is not like me saying like, oh, I was good, but my teacher would tell me I was good. And I knew that I had to be somewhere because I would practice double whatever my teacher told me. So if it was 15, I would practice 30. And then I would still be doing it morning and evening or whatever it is. So I was doing the work. I was putting that work in, but still in my mind, I wasn't sure if it was good enough. So I would always look at my mom. Is it good enough? Is it good enough? And that's what that is. Is it good enough? Versus, okay, I'm comfortable with myself and I know that if something did come up that I needed to adjust, I would definitely adjust it. So instead of thinking, will they like me? It's more of like, okay, I know that there's always something I can be working on, but with this current version of myself and the version of myself that I'm trying to be, does this relationship align? Number 3 is glamour on low volume. You do not need a glam team. You just need consistency. And what I mean by that is something over the top. Now, of course, you're probably going to think makeup first, but here's the thing. Makeup takes a lot of talent. So nothing is wrong with makeup if that's the look that you're going for. But if you want the focus to be more on you and what you can do, then it's better to have something that you're not immediately able to point out. For instance, I love my mascara, right? I love mascara, but I wouldn't want to have 45 stacks of lashes on because the first thing people are going to see are my lashes and not necessarily me in certain spaces. So definitely have your own personal style because that is what makes you you. But what glamour on low volume means is Clean hair, clean nails, clean face, not musty, no stank breath, whisper glamour. Basically, people can't figure out why you're glowing, but you do. That's the point. They can't figure out what looks good about you, but something looks good. But whenever it's something that's easily pointed out, you almost get pushed to the wayside, like, oh, okay, well, she looks good because she has 45 stacks of lashes on. I don't know what she would look like without that. Or he looks good because he has a haircut. But if he didn't have a haircut, I don't know about that. Make it to where it's your overall being. And honestly, if you have a good personality, it also shows on the outside. So making sure that the clean girl aesthetic, make sure it's clean on the inside, right? Make sure that closet is clean so that you glow on the outside. Number 4 is an energy audit. After I've been working and doing different things like that, I don't want to do any more work, but this is important. Stop saying yes to things that make your chest tighten. Now, I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I will be like super busy in my mind and different things like that, and somebody will ask me something and I'll be like, okay, sure. And now I'm obligated to do that thing. And maybe I'm not doing it to the fullest extent that I could because for some reason my energy is just not where it needs to be. So now my new thing has been, okay, let me think about this. What gave me energy today and what drained me? This is how you purposely build peace. Peace is not built on accident. It's something that you have to actively choose and continue working on. Maybe some days nothing drained me. Maybe I had a perfect day. And other days, maybe something does drain me. And it's not always something that's outside. Maybe I was personally doing something that was draining myself. For instance, the other day, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to do. But then I was like, okay, let me add this on and let me add this on. Honestly, it would be better and I would probably do a better job if I finished doing what I'm doing today and plan accurately for me to be able to put it into my schedule tomorrow. But because I did that, I was able to actually get done with what I needed to get done instead of starting and getting onto something else, because that is definitely something I do. I start on something and then hop onto something else, and then it's not completed or it's not to the best of my ability because I've been hopping around. So it's good for people that do that because you're able to think like, okay, is this step actually necessary? It's not always people. Sometimes it's people where it's like, okay, this individual drained me, but more often it's actually habits and steps throughout the day that like, okay, if I would have done this while I was doing this, then I would have been less drained. For instance, I want to start listening to more audiobooks. I used to listen to more, but I want to start getting back into that. It might be easier for me to listen to an audiobook while I'm cleaning up than it is for me to listen to the audiobook while I'm working out. Also figuring out your schedule, because I know I like to listen to music. I like to listen to rock music, epic music, whatever it is. I listen to a lot of different stuff at the gym. So I know for me personally, I'm not going to listen to that book. And if I try to set myself up to do that, then I'm going to find a way not to do it. So finding your own schedule is also a good way to do that energy audit before it even comes up. Number 5 is move like you've already been chosen, okay? Now this, once again, none of these are for pride. It's solely for confidence. Now I've said this before as far as arrogance and being confident are two very different things. Confidence comes from verifiable ability and experience. Arrogance comes from nothing at all. You have no real backing. Right? Like, it's just like, oh, I can do this. And you have never done it in your life. You have never touched it. You just think you can just because you're you. So it's not push that idea, right? It's so that you don't always put yourself in the place of, oh, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. It's like, I'm on my way. Okay. I have this set in mind. When you're driving to a specific destination, you're on your way there, right? You leave the house, I'm on my way to this destination. You're not like, well, I'm trying to get there. Unless you're like running late. But when you're just lining everything up the way you want it to be, then you're on your way there. So you don't need to be in a space of like, oh, what do I do next? What do I do next? Because you've already laid out the path. If you want to physically feel this, walk slower with more direction. Speak in full sentences, and you can also adjust to the pace of the conversation. Now I know I speak pretty fast sometimes. If I'm with my friends or if I'm talking to my mom, oh, good luck trying to catch what I'm saying because I'm going to be speaking so fast. But if I'm speaking somewhere, I want you to understand what I'm going to be speaking about in this particular subject because blah, blah, blah. And why is this important to you? People always need to know why it's important to them. If they don't feel like it's important to them, they're going to shut that off really quick. So remember, you're not convincing, you're curating. If I'm always moving around like I'm convincing you to like me or I'm trying to convince you to listen, then people are going to be more apt to not listen because obviously like you got to work hard for me to listen to you. Versus if I make it to where now you're interested in listening to what I'm having to say, then it's your own personal choice. Otherwise, you're always going to feel like, back to the other one, like you're chasing. This is what I mean by choosing. All right, 6 in this video is going to be do not, absolutely do not become available for chaos because it is easy to find yourself in the midst of some drama. It really is. Because sometimes you want to know the tea, right? Sometimes you want to know, but it's not that important, I promise you. I promise you the tea is not that good. Set the tone that you do not tolerate gossip by not gossiping. Gossiping, energy vampires, passive aggression, you are not available for that. You are on do not disturb for that type of behavior. Because even your silence becomes a boundary when you start practicing this. Somebody's going to say something, something's going to happen, somebody's going to do something. And it's best for you to just stay away from the drama portion. Because the thing about it is you're going to have to deal with it either way. But how you deal with it is the important part. If I get into it with someone, I don't need to start going around talking about, oh yeah, well, she did do this and she did do that, or he did do this or he did. I don't need to do that. I handle it with that person. And a lot of times when people already know the boundaries that you set, they won't cross those boundaries. Like for me, I do not like yelling. Please and thanks. This doesn't happen often. But say, for instance, one of my friends, they're upset with me. They know that they need to communicate with me by speaking to me, just tell me what's going on, because I will listen and I will adjust it. I definitely will. So if you're upset with me, speak to me and tell me what you would like to happen and how you would like it to happen. And I would say, okay, I can understand that. If I really did do something, I will definitely apologize. I have no problem apologizing. But they know they can't come at me with that yelling and nothing happens there. Nothing gets done. So when you've already communicated your boundaries by how you carry yourself, you get into a lot less altercations because people know if they really want a good response from you, if they are really looking to fix something, that they can't deal with you that way. I've worked with a lot of teenagers in different camps, and one of the biggest things that I see whenever they get into it is that they have two different styles. Maybe one person is used to being loud. They feel like they need to be loud, they need to yell. And the reason why is because they don't feel like they're being heard, or at some point in their life, they have felt like they haven't been heard. So one, it starts from different pieces of healing. When you find yourself in a healed place, this is not overnight, but once you find yourself in a healed place, you can know, hey, I feel like I need to be loud because I feel like I'm not being listened to. And you can even share that like, hey, I'm listening to what you have to say, but I don't feel like you're really hearing me. Would you mind taking a second to listen to what I'm saying? Or please hear what I'm saying. Because when we're uncomfortable, we often show our traumas. And I'm not telling you to hide it. I'm just saying that it would be better for you on your body, the stress that it causes on your body, if you heal those portions and then respond, not react. This is just one episode in my life maxing / glow up series. Hit that notification bell and subscribe because we are building value from the inside out. And if nobody's told you, I believe in you.